Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Bauer, and I am here with Amanda Farley.
Hi.
So if you were at the U.S. conference, you heard from Amanda because she actually is the #1 Business Builder bonus earner for this calendar year. And she shared some of what she does. But Amanda, I think after that conference, or actually during, you were approached by like a couple hundred people. What do you do? Right?
Right. Yeah, just a few.
And, your Facebook has been exploding. So we thought we're going to get you on a video and we're going to dig in and we're really going to cover the meat and potatoes of what you do. So you're listening in on this. You can take some of those great practices that Amanda does and put them into work in your business. So let's get started. Okay. I know that actually the idea of recruiting was not something that was really on your mind. And you were on your way to Panama and had kind of an epiphany. What happened?
Yeah, so on our incentive trip to Panama, I met these 4 wonderful ladies. They found out that I only did this business for the sales aspect. And I was unintentionally getting a few recruits along the way, but I would try to steer everyone in the sales aspect because I had my 35% blinders on. And yeah. And so take those blinders off. It is life-changing, game changer for that. So they showed me the true potential that Norwex has for like recruiting and building your team and being a leader for everyone. And I felt terrible because I was keeping this opportunity just to myself and I wasn't offering it to anyone. So they kind of showed me the way, took those blinders off. And in Panama a year and a half ago, I went from 7 active team members to I think we have 230 team members right now.
Wow.
And yeah. And but the cool thing is that I didn't even know I was getting a leadership commission when I was in Panama. So we checked that out and it was around $100 and that was a year and a half ago. And last month, my leadership commission was $5,100. So
that's amazing.
It is. And half of that was from the BBB. And I just want to clarify, like, I'm not trying to impress anyone with those figures. I'm just trying to show everyone the true potential that this business has, not just with sales, but with growing your team and being a leader.
And you have a non-negotiable.
Yes.
Which is?
So my non-negotiable is getting 3 new team members every single month. And I usually try to upgrade them to gold, the gold upgrade package, or we try to get them engaged for the month so that I can hit that BBB because that benefits my family also. So in the process of giving this opportunity to others, I'm able to have a blessing too.
And so what that does is it brings consistency to your business.
Correct. Yeah. A true consistency. You have to be consistent. It's not a hit or miss kind of thing. You have to flow through the whole year to make this, positive in your business.
Oh, it's definitely been a positive and a blessing for you. So let's now get into what everybody's asking you, which is what do you do at your parties where you make sure that happens consistently? So let's start. And I think that let's break it into like what you do in the beginning, what you do during your demo, talk about the end and the checkout process. So let's start. At the beginning of your party, what do you do, Amanda?
Okay, so everyone has the beginning, the icebreakers and things like that. So partway through my introduction, I I do my booking incentive, but I also do a recruiting incentive right away, or a seed, sorry, not incentive, a recruiting seed right away. And that involves something as simple as, I know you're going to fall in love with everything and you're going to want the entire catalog. So when you find yourself wanting one of everything or 6 of everything like I did, I invite you to talk more business opportunity with me at the end. And I kind of bring up my little packet and it's sitting right there for them to see. So I just make sure that they know right away that there is potential for them to have their own business with Norwex.
Okay, we're going to get to the packet in a minute.
Yep.
So you plan a recruiting seed. What else do you do during your party to focus on recruiting?
So I share a little bit about my journey with Norwex, how I just started with the discount because I'm super frugal. Everyone knows that. And so I just wanted that discount and it's flourished into something super awesome. So I just make sure that I plant the seeds throughout. And if someone is really loving a product, I kind of like go, oh, you can get that 35% off of this. If they're like loving the mop or something like that, I will throw in those kind of recruiting seeds.
Okay. And I'm sure that you focus on the fact that you get them off for free when you start.
Correct. Yeah. So that's part of my end. So my ending, which I love that they came out with these new catalogs. So it's right at the very last page.
Mm-hmm.
So for my ending, I always do, first I start with the recruiting cards, the real solution cards for the recruiting ones. And I don't really play games, but I do make every single person there ask a question from the card. So if there are 5 people, I hand out 5 cards and they all must ask a question because you're the boss and a lot of people are super self-conscious. They don't want to grab a card if you give them an option. So I say, here, just ask a question. It's super fun. And then, I give like a sample or something free to someone who asks. So anyway, we go through that little game and then I give the answers to it. And that kind of like turns a switch for them to go, oh, I never thought about that. You don't have to pay for hostess rewards. And questions like that, it just switches that for them. So I always, then after we do that, I always come back to where I started at the beginning. If you find yourself wanting everything, Norwex made it super simple for you. Look, it even comes with the mop. So you can do the 3 ways you can get your mop today. You can purchase it. You can host a party and get it for free or deeply discounted, or you can join my team, right? And you get it for free in the starter kit. And so they really like that. And that picture is spot on. I love the new layout of this catalog too. But that's on the very last page. It's perfect to end every single party.
And I'm pretty sure that everybody knows this, but a small deck of the Real Solution green and purple cards are now in the starter kit. So if you're not using them, I always say give everything a 4-something try. So give it a 4-party try. And the ones that are in the kit are probably, I'm going to guess, the same ones that you're using as well. And then if you have more people for a new consultant, you can actually give them the purple cards and the green cards. I know some people are doing that.
Yeah, I love that idea. I've been doing that the last 2 parties that I've done since we discussed that. Yeah, and people really like it. They love the facts on there. So it kind of breaks it up. It's not all strictly recruiting. There are those little recruiting seeds in there, though.
Yeah, so use purple and green, just interchange them, and that's how, that's actually what we have put in the instructions for new consultants. But hopefully you're using them, and if not, you can still order the deck. That's the other thing. That's just a little plug. Okay,
and
so
that is I will say that those cards are a true game changer. Because trying to get people to, like, if you do a 3-minute game where they're asking you questions, it gets super complicating and it's on a time crunch. And I want to make sure we spend enough time so that all these answers are out there and they're thinking about it.
Well, and you want the most important questions too, like
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of guiding that conversation. And some people that really might be interested are never going to ask a question. They're just not.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like a cool icebreaker. They don't even have to think about it. The question's right there for them.
Absolutely. Okay. So we've covered seats at the beginning. You do that in the middle. You do the cards. You focus on the beautiful picture of the starter kit and the mop and how you get it for free. Okay. So we're at the end of the party. And what's next? The most important thing is kind of the one-on-one when you get to checkout. How do you handle it?
Yeah, so you want to create that relationship with these new customers or even potentially old customers, you still want to keep that relationship going. So I do kind of a 3-part close with each customer. I say, thank you for joining us. Did you learn a lot of things? And they'll say, yeah. And I say, I bet you have a super long wish list. And they'll say, oh my gosh, I want so much stuff in here. So that's when I bring in, oh, I'd love to host a party with you. So that's my little booking seed. And then I say to them, well, I have a quick question. I knew Norwex was for me when I could go party once a week, whatever fit our schedule, and I made it flexible to us. And I could bring home over $700 a month because that's the average party. That's what we have in our brochures. And so I say, may I ask, what would you do with an extra $700 a month? And so then that gets them thinking, one night a week. Well, anyone can do one night a week. My goodness. And so they get to thinking, and then they'll say, oh, I'd love to save for college funds, or, I have student loans to pay, or I want to go on a vacation. Some people, I love it. They're like, I want a Louis Vuitton bag. Oh, go girl. Okay. I like it. So they all give me these questions, and then I can kind of ask open-ended questions. Like, can you see yourself? Do you have one night a week? How would you feel about one night a week having a quick party like this, getting some girlfriends together and enjoying a glass of wine or muffins or something like that? And I always do the open-ended questions thanks to Libby, because if you ask a yes or no, they're usually going to say no. So if you ask an open-ended question, how would your husband feel with you bringing in that extra income? Or how would your kids like another vacation with that? And it kind of just gets them, oh my goodness, and they're intrigued. So they want to know more. So then that opens me up where I can go over a little more information about this. And I also have printed off the gold package upgrades. Well, I have the package upgrades, but I always talk about the gold package. It is the best package that Norwex has to offer by far. 9 out of 10 of my new recruits go gold package because you get the extras for, you can increase your sales for giveaways, and you can increase your bookings and everything like that. And it gives you those extra goodies in there, and you get to test them out too. So they always want those extras.
And now our upgrade packages actually mirror the sets in the back of the catalog, which is really fun, because then when people, purchase a Safe Haven 5, they have experience with kind of what they might want next. So I love that.
Yeah, and I love that we have just simplified everything. I think it's awesome. I love the new gold kit builder. I just signed a new recruit yesterday. She is so in love. She's head over heels with the new products that are in it, because we spoke a few months ago and she saw the new one and she's in love. And she said, sign me up, because she wanted the shampoo and conditioner and the other ones that come in there. So I'm excited for it. So I always love to share that that's the best route for them to go. It's the best deal that Norwex has.
Well, and once they have that upgrade package, that also gives them a step into success when they start, because that will already count for some sales.
Yes, and that's what I explained to them for their qualification. Don't quote me, I forget the new, I think it's 434 total, 434, 430 something in sales that they already have. And I think that's incredible, because they can I always require my recruits to try it for 4 parties. And I love a 4-party try, because that keeps them consistent, like we talk about. And it gets them to the qualified amount that they need for the 2,000.
Okay, so we've talked about what you do at the party. And what I love, Amanda, is it's really simple. What you do is very simple. And that's so important, because somebody sitting at a party needs to be able to see themselves in your shoes. And probably a lot of people that have been asking you, what do you do? What do you do? You must do something that I'm not doing, but you keep your party simple and you're just very consistent. Okay, but then the other, important component of this is getting people started quickly, because we know that getting them started, getting them having launch parties and parties, that's really going to make such an impact. So, so once somebody says yes, what's the next step?
So I will sign them up usually on the spot right at the party. So I'll pull my phone out and I'll let them do the signing up and everything so that they can put their information in. And once we sign them up, I will get them, it's all about consistency. So first I give them this packet and it's super generic because we want simplicity. So I don't want to overwhelm them with anything. And I'll share a little bit with what's in this packet. And this is all credited to Laurel Patton. She designed all of this and she's been gracious enough. She's such a blessing. She lets me use it. So I'll just share.
I'm gonna stop right there because
Oh, okay.
now you're probably thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to Laurel Patton and ask her for everything. We're looking at these materials. Please, use what, what you have. And I don't think there's anything that you're doing that's in that packet that somebody couldn't turn around and do today, right?
Correct. And I have altered these to fit me because everyone's different. And if you've ever met me or see me now, I'm super quirky. It doesn't work for everyone. So I have made them my own as far as this, but I'm just going to give you, just going to show you real quick what it kind of looks like. And I won't show you every page. It's just papers for them to fill out. And it gives them something to keep that excitement because they're excited at the party to join your team. And you want to keep their excitement because they don't get their kit the next day. They have to wait for it. So then you can learn a little bit more about them. And I always say, send me a screenshot so that I know your answers, or give me a call because I'd love to talk about this. So it's really about connecting with your new recruits and creating that relationship with them, the same that you do with your customers. So a few questions on here. I'll just briefly, what do they want from their Norwex business? Why did they join? What are they most excited about? Do they need the extra income? Do they want the products at a discount? Do they just want to share the mission? And so that's one of them. I also give them to label their fresh start steps because I want to make sure that they're hitting all of those because, again, it's consistency. So with the BBB, this is an opportunity for us to earn all year long for 12 months. And if they are not consistent, our BBB bonus is not going to be consistent either. So
that's a really good point.
Yeah. And so I have them create their Frankie list. Well, I mean, everyone should be doing that now anyway. If it's a new consultant, we should be training them on the Frankie list. So it's nothing that probably anyone isn't doing already. It's just in a packet form. So then I give them a calendar. Now this is July, so I should probably update it. But I give them a calendar with sticky notes because I want them to put the days, non-negotiables for them. If they have kid stuff, they can't work that day. So put that day that you're off. And then in green, because we want to make money, right? We put the days that we can actually party. And so they get their calendar ready on their own because it's their calendar. And so then they start making their phone calls and everything. And one thing that I really love to include in these is sample packs. So sample packs that they can start handing out before their starter kit even arrives. And they can start talking about the business opportunity and the products with people before their kit's there, which I think is awesome when they don't have anything in their hand to begin with.
So tell me what's in your sample pack, because I'm sure people are wondering.
So I do in viral cloth, can we see here? In viral cloth, window cloth, and then a sample of detergent. And I have it labeled of the uses for the detergent. And so that way they can give it to someone and say, here is what I'm talking about. And these sample kits for me personally, I have gotten recruits, and you probably heard me say it on stage, from the nail salon. When I'm getting a pedicure, the lady sitting beside me talking about wipes, and I'm going, excuse me, we need to talk. She's talking about cleaners. And I said, oh my goodness, we need to talk. And so I hand her this sample pack and I start saying, let's clean without chemicals. There's a healthier way to do this. And so I hand this to her and she calls me right away and says, I want to host a party. I want to get everything. She said, I want the whole catalog. And I said, oh, I have a better opportunity for you. And what do you think I pulled out? the starter kit. And so I got her to join my team. So these are incredibly important when you don't have any other thing in your hand for those 5 to 7 days until your kit arrives.
Well, and what I also hear often is that when new consultants are doing that, handing it to their neighbors, handing it to the, or going over to, their sisters and using them, then they're building their confidence, and they're getting people that are having that blown away effect, do a butter demo and that's it. And then that's going to help them to get bookings. That's going to help them, to ensure that they're continue their excitement, and that they have people that are going to be their hosts as well as going to their launch parties.
Exactly. That's spot on.
Yeah. And the other thing now, okay, so the packet has basically a new consultant questionnaire, and you can use it any way you want it. We used to have it in our 5-step guide called the Success Promise. And it basically, it did that. It just says, how many parties do you want to hold? How much do you want to make? It helps you to know what their expectation is for the business. And that helps you when then you're having that conversation with them. We have a brand new website. So one thing, Amanda, that I would put in that little packet that you might not have is the website address, because they can access this even before they get their kit. And it's theresource.norwex.com. That's it. And that's for the US. In Canada, it's theresourceca.norwex.com. And that gives them access to the 5 steps that have a video, a podcast, and the guide. So that would be something that I would just suggest you add to your little packet.
Yeah, I think that's incredible. I think I'm going to add that as soon as we're done so that I can update everything. And also the career coffee that you have on back office too. That is really kind of the same basis. It asks the same kind of questions. So it's very similar, and I think everyone can do this. So make it your own, because you have to be genuine. And again, what works for me, like to a T, doesn't work for others. So they have to make sure that they're confident and comfortable with what they've created.
Absolutely. And okay, so you give them the packet, they go home with this. And then what's kind of your onboarding process to get them really going and out the gate having parties right away?
So I usually do the text messaging only because some people don't want to talk on the phone.
Right.
And but you still have to connect with them and build that relationship. So it's not a text and then walk away. It's a text and how can we grow with us? So I usually ask my new recruits for that 4-party try. And I require them to do the 4 parties and see how they like it from there. Usually those 4 parties turn into 8, and they're going, oh my goodness, my calendar is full. This is going to be incredible. And this is such a blessing, because they have their full calendar and it's all about that consistency for them. So when they do that, I have in my text messaging little challenges for them. So holding their launch party within the first 2 weeks. They can do Facebook or an in-home. So some of them choose to do both, and I love that. That makes me feel like, okay, the ones that couldn't make it to the in-home launch party can now make it to the Facebook ones. And so they have kind of double people coming in, and they can share with them. And so then from there, we continue to go. And every month I do on my team page just little things for them to keep updated with and give them a little boost so that they're touching their business daily to keep up with that consistency.
And you said that it was important building that relationship. So one thing that I know is that in the text, and I learned this from Katie Barnett, is it's important to end with, again, keep that conversation open. So what do you think about this? Or would you like to have a call to go over this? So that you're giving them information, or you're giving them direction, you're steering the ship, but you're also bringing them back to you, so that it continues to be a back and forth relationship.
Correct. Yeah. So it is all about the open-ended questions. It's not just leave it there and say, hope you have a great day. It's always about how can I help you more? How can we benefit each other? What can I do? You're new and I want to be your best friend. Let me hold your hand. And how can we do that? So I want to know more about them so that I know, being a leader, we learn along the way how we can help others, whether it's visual or actually hand holding to help them. So that helps guide me too.
Well, and I find that people like to get information and learn in different ways. It's kind of a picture in me. So that's why on our new website, people can watch a video, they can listen to podcasts, or they can read. And, and I know, like you said, some people, they're more text people, but you can still have that relationship, even going back and forth in text. And sometimes just, hearing your voice when they're nervous or when they have their launch party and they're not quite sure what's next, or maybe it didn't go so well. That is really important, to connect with them.
Right. And if they're nervous about their parties, I always let my recruits shadow me. I think it's important just to see how they're, we do a party, they can take notes and see what works best for them, what they feel confident in, because they have to feel confident. So if we're just kind of like pushing them in and making them jump, it can seem overwhelming. So I love to have recruits follow me, even if it's a Facebook party. I have them tag along and make sure that they're following along with it too.
So I know that one of the things that you have is non-negotiables. The other is consistency. Mm-hmm. And the third, just knowing you, is you do income producing activities. So if it's not giving you some results, then you have to think, is it worth my time? I'm going to tell you, having people shadow you on parties, you're doing it anyway, and they're learning from you. That is the best way to really maximize income producing activities from both sides. So I love that you do that.
Oh, thank you. My recruits love that I do that too. They always thank me. And some of them, they shadow more than just one because they want to feel that confidence. And so that's why a launch party is super beneficial, because they can do it in front of their friends and family. It's not anyone that they don't know. They feel confident and comfortable in front of them. So launch parties are a non-negotiable for my recruits when I bring them on board.
Well, and when you start any kind of a job, you don't know what to expect. You are looking for somebody to tell you, to help guide you. And that's really what you're doing. You set those expectations and you hold them accountable and you follow up with them. And that's golden. That's key. So Amanda, I want to thank you. Is there anything else? Because I know you've gotten a sea of questions. Is there anything else that you want to share that you think would be helpful?
I just think, and a gentleman on the plane, as we were coming home, I gave him one of them sample packs, and he will be contacting me. But I said, what's your biggest tip? And he said, continue to be you because it's working. And I went, oh, he's a genius, because you want to be genuine and authentic, because everyone can feel that. And if you're being fake, it's not going to come across. So we want to make sure that we're genuine. We already have a passion for this. So just be you. So no one can duplicate Amanda Farley, just like I can't duplicate you. So just be you, be genuine, and be intentional. And that's where those IPAs, the income producing activities, come in. So be intentional in your business. So set your goals and make sure that you're crushing them, along with teaching your recruits how to do that too.
Absolutely. Amanda, I want to thank you so much for your time. And everyone, I hope that you're just sending kisses and hugs, because she really is amazing and so willing to share from her heart and passion for this business. So thank you, Amanda.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Bye. Have a great day.